What's going on YouTube? It's Justin here, and today we are starting the first video of our instructional video series that I will be bringing to you this summer. So really excited for this, guys, and I think it's going to be a great first topic that we're going to be talking about. As you can probably see with the title, we're going to talk about how to reverse diet, a very controversial topic and a very important topic that a lot of people fail to achieve. I mean, think about it. We diet down for 12, 16, 20 plus weeks, and then we get the shredded look, we go on stage, we either win, we do good, we place, or we do terrible, whatever it is, and then we're done. And then we're supposed to reverse diet, and it just goes all to shit because there's no competition. So we just eat whatever, and we gain all this weight, and it's just so mentally tough on us to accept. And if that sounds like you're not alone. That's literally everyone. Reverse dieting is so hard. So I want to talk about reverse dieting, kind of how to do it, set up a game plan, and hopefully provide you guys with some good knowledge and a good foundation of what to do after your show, so you too can gain weight the healthy way, but also be mentally stable and be okay that you gain some weight. And I think it's a good time to talk about it because everyone right now who might be watching, if you're a competitor, we're in our season, right? We're competing. And so whether you're doing 1 show, 2 shows, or 10 shows this year, at some point you're going to be done competing and you're going to have to reverse out and build your metabolism a little bit and invest into the off season. So I think it's a really good time to talk about it so you guys can either jump into it right immediately after as you're doing your show, or at least prepare yourself for after your show later on this year. So let's talk about it. What is a reverse diet exactly? So reverse diet is the phase following a prolonged caloric deficit. So caloric deficit meaning you're eating less calories than you're burning, so you're losing weight, you're getting leaner, you're getting more defined. Pretty much in the context of what we're going to be talking about today, it's going to be for physique competition, so competing, whether bikini, bodybuilding, physique, whatever, you diet down for, again, a prolonged period of time, 12, 16, 20, however many weeks, to a point where your metabolism is going to start slowing down and where your body's in a position where it's very susceptible to gain weight really quickly. So let's talk about how to set it up. But let's talk first about why it's so hard. So the obvious reason is hunger. And you might be like, I'm just so hungry because I haven't ate a lot. Well, there are hormonal reasons why you're hungry. For example, leptin. Leptin is the hormone that can tell us we're full. And leptin drops significantly as we drop our body fat. Why is that? Leptin's made in the fat cells. So as we lose body fat, we lose the levels of leptin. And as we lose the levels of leptin, our hunger goes up because our mind is no longer getting told that after a meal that we're good. Alternatively, the hormone ghrelin is the hunger hormone. So leptin goes down. I'm not sure if I can do some infographics here. I might. But leptin goes down, and then ghrelin is going to go up. So ghrelin is what tells your brain after you eat, I'm hungry, or before you eat, I'm really hungry. So I'm feeling good down. I feel good going down. I'm hungry going up. That's the most obvious. You're very hungry. Another thing, you got hormones like T3 and T4, which are your thyroid hormones, and that's like your think about that as your thermostat of your body. It regulates a lot of different things. So that's telling you those are down-regulated, as well as testosterone, which for a male, you might notice your sex drive is down, or other things are not going up. Whatever it is, that goes down. And testosterone is such a major hormone for the male and for the female that when that's down, along with thyroids and hunger, you just kind of feel like crap. So we do all this dieting, we look at the epitome of health and fitness, but we feel like shit. That's kind of the ironic part. You look like you are the definition of what health and fitness should be, maybe a little too much if you're doing bodybuilding and whatnot, but at the same time, you look like this, but you feel the worst. And so what we need to do is reverse out of that. So how do we do that? Okay, so we need to set up a game plan because, again, like I said, your metabolism is going lower and lower and lower the longer you diet. I mean, think about it. Your body doesn't recognize, your mind might know, but your body does not like, oh, we're contest prepping, we're preparing for a show. No, it thinks you're dying. It's going to survival mode. So it's going to hold on to every little bit of fat more and more. So the only way to combat that is either increase cardio or drop your calories. By doing that, your metabolism is slower and slower and slower. So the day after a show, your metabolism is real slow. So when you pound those calories, your weight's gonna go up. First thing that's gonna happen is your glycogen stores, which is the carbs that get stored up into your body, into your muscles and your fat cells, they're going to increase. So you're gonna get some water weight, which is just because you're probably stuffing your face with Oreos, pizza, Mexican, whatever it is. So that's one thing, that's fine. But, so your weight's gonna go up automatically a couple pounds from that. But if you continue to do it, if you continue to eat and just be reckless for weeks, or 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, your weight's gonna spike up. I've seen people gain 15, 20, 30, 40 pounds in the first month because they were just reckless. And that's what we're gonna try to prevent. We're gonna try to prevent that massive rebound and hopefully, limit that. Now, the thing to understand, the most important thing to understand, which is so hard to wrap your head around, is that gaining weight is needed. Big words here. Needed. Okay? So gaining weight is needed. We need to gain weight. Now, we don't need to gain a crazy amount of weight, but gaining weight's needed because you need to get those hormone levels back up. You need to get that body fat into you so you feel better. I mean, there's so many different physical reasons why you need it, but you also need it mentally too. So it's very hard after months and months and months seeing the scale go down and view that as a good thing. But when you see the scale go up, you see it as a bad thing. We got to flip that. Going up is not a bad thing anymore, it's a good thing, okay? But we got to control that pace. So the first thing, always understand that reverse dieting, you have to gain weight. Now, how much weight you gain is kind of dependent on a lot of things. Your size, your gender, the organization, or excuse me, the division that you competed in. So for example, male bodybuilder, for me, when I dieted down, I got to about 178. For me, gaining weight was more important, a specific amount of weight is more important than, say, when I was competing in men's physique. Because men's physique, I was about 185. And my level of leanness, I didn't have to get as far down. So it's more important hormonally and physically and mentally to get to a higher body fat percentage quicker when you're in a more competitive, more required division for leanness. So women's physique, women's bodybuilding, men's bodybuilding, even classic for men. But things like women's bikini and men's physique, you don't have to gain as much weight as quickly and you'll still be okay because you're further away. Does that make sense? Nod your head. Okay, go. So what I like to do is, that makes it more complicated than it needs to be, right? So saying that, oh, well, it depends on what organization you compete in and your height and your gender and all these things, then you're like, there's no universal way to do it. You're like, what do I do? So what I like to do is give a kind of across the board percentage based off your weight. That way you can take that percentage and apply it to you, opposed to trying to figure out all these variables. Let's make it more simple than it has to be. So the percentage I like to do is I like to take your contest weight and times it by slightly over 1%. So 1.025 to 1.05 is roughly where I like to be within that first month, one month, within that first 1 to 2 months. Again, this is my first video, so I'm new to it again. But so 1.025, so write that down, to 1.05. What does that equate to? So let's use it for me. So for an 180 pound bodybuilder, or physique, whatever, 180 pound male, let's just say, that puts me at about 184 to 188, 189, okay? So that's 4 to 9 pounds within the first 1 to 2 months. Now, some people are like, oh, that's crazy, that just took me 3 months to lose that amount. But again, it is needed, and you're still gonna be shredded. Don't get in your mind that you're not shredded because you gained 5 pounds. You're still shredded, all right? Calm down, bro. So 4 to 9 pounds. And this is the phase we consider the recovery phase. So the recovery phase, is kind of where you're starting to regain that lost muscle. A lot of people think like, oh, I'm putting on all this crazy new muscle, I'm looking really filled out. No, you're really just kind of getting back the muscle you lost, because you're going to lose muscle during prep. You're filling out your glycogen stores, and you're just filling out, really. So 1 to 2 months recovery phase, you're going to be doing, for me, again, that's 4 to 9 pounds. For a 120 pound girl, it's going to be less. It's going to probably be like 3 to 6. I'm not doing the math. You can do the math, but use those percentages. So again, 1.025 to 1.05 is what I recommend. And then at that point, you need to assess where you're at. So this is where it kind of gets variable for every person. You know, are you going to be doing photo shoots? Are you going to be doing another competition in the near future? Or are you going to be investing in a long off season? If you're going to be, you know, taking 12 months to a year to 2 years off, then it allows you to get further away from your contest weight. But if you're going to be doing a contest in 6 months, 8 months, then you need to really stay within that striking distance, because otherwise you're going to find it's going to be very hard to bring your weight back down. So the most important thing is taking care of your metabolism, and then, you know, reflecting on your goals. Are you going to be competing soon? Are you investing in a long off season? And then go from there. What else have I missed? I think that's pretty good. You know, so 1 to 2 months recovery phase, those percentages, 1.025 to 1.05, your body weight, get into that range, then assess what are you going to do and what do you need to improve on. Set some goals. At that point, that 2 month point, you should be well over maintenance calories, so you should definitely be trying to get to maintenance calories as quickly as possible. And you should be going into a caloric surplus. Now realize that maintenance at contest weight is different than maintenance where you started at originally with your diet. So you got to make sure you got to figure that out. And I can't really answer the question of how quickly should you add carbs, fats, and proteins, because that is going to be something that you have to experiment with or with your coach based on how your body reacts. Some people I can, like for my guys, some guys I can throw 40 to 60 carbs a week at them and they'll grow and their scale doesn't really bounce up. Some people you have to do 15 or 20 grams of carbs. I would definitely say whatever you feel like your lowest macro is, try to bring that up. But carbs are ultimately going to be the most important to get up quickly, just because that's going to be your energy source. That's going to be how you're feeling. That's going to be how you're going to have intensity in the gym, and overall just be unclouded. that little contest fog. Guys, really important though is I wrote an entire article on this topic. It's called basically Preventing Reverse Diet Disaster, something like that. I'm going to link it to the bottom. It's on HealthOS. Just take a read on it. It has way more information than I'm telling you right now. I'm trying to summarize it, and also it's way more collected with my thoughts. I'm kind of bouncing around. But check that video out. I hope it helps. I hope this helps. And if you like this video, even though it's crazy needing to be edited, give me a thumbs up. Appreciate it, guys. And I'm so excited to get this thing going again. All right, guys, have a good day.